Welcome to the Literally First Class podcast, where I will teach you how to overcome anxiety and achieve somatic success. I'm your host, Keri Ford. I'm a somatic success and holistic life coach here to bring humor, insight, and wisdom to the modern day woman that wants to feel alive in her daily life. You ready? Come on, I saved you a seat in first class. Stop overscheduling and overcommitting to your calendar. This is the tough love episode you didn't know you needed on why you need to slow the fuck down. I am so tired of women saying that they are just so busy that they can't even get their head screwed on straight with like what day it is, and like they're here, they're there, they are so overwhelmed they can't even see that doing this kind of work is actually going to help them calm down. That's actually why so many women have hired me. They're like, I just want your calm energy. There's something about how calm you are. And slowing down is a huge part of that. You cannot have a regulated nervous system if you are constantly thinking about the future. If your mind won't stop racing, if you can't slow down to be present, and your weapon of choice to sabotage the success you have or the success you could have becomes overscheduling and over fucking committing. You don't know how to say no. You don't know how to protect your boundaries, your integrity on your calendar. And it's from a severe place of lack. This might be the opportunity. I need to say yes to this, or I've got to do it on this time frame. I have clients that were like, oh my God, like until we started this work together, I didn't realize that I was setting up myself for my own expectations and operating under my own expectations while I continued to move the bar, higher and the finish line out further, that I, in fact, was the bottleneck and the source of my own self-fulfilling prophecy, where I never felt like enough. And I always felt like I needed to have it done yesterday, and this like constant sense of urgency, or like I needed to email back at 10 o'clock at night because if I don't, then XYZ, or like, I'm getting emails from my team like, I know you're on vacation, but, well, that's a clear sign that you don't have boundaries, right? So I'm going to give you an exercise that's so simple. This is so simple. And I have done this in coaching calls where I'm like, we need to do this. And I had a mentor do this with me. And it changed the game because there are stories, what we think is happening, and then there's actually what's happening objectively. Like it's 72 degrees outside is a fact, we might say. But maybe one person says, ooh, that's warm. And someone else goes, ooh, I'm going to need a jacket. That's where the stories or the beliefs or the internal dialogue goes on. But the fact is, it's 72 degrees out. That's a fact. It's black, it's white, it's objective, it's a fact. So when we look at someone's calendar, when I have them pull it up, that's a fact. I had one client that came to me, was working 7 days a week. What? She was so stressed out. She was always on the brink of, tears, essentially. It was showing up in her marriage, this constant stress. There are so many factors to that, right? But what she was doing was she was taking her skill set as a very successful executive, having worked for somebody, and had a constant salary and paycheck. And then she was transferring that over to entrepreneurship. It's a whole different ball of wax. And any part of you that is not fully on board with all of you is going to have to come up to be healed. And you will be faced with those things as an entrepreneur. It will bring up all your inner shit like nothing else. You want a spiritual journey? Be an entrepreneur. I promise you, you're on the fast track and on the roller coaster to inner growth, personal development, and healing. Because it's going to require you to put to bed everything in you that says otherwise, right? Otherwise, you're just not going to be successful at it. That's just how it's going to work. So anyway, she came to me. She was working 7 days a week, and she was so frazzled. I said, what if we take Sundays off? panic. Her face went white. I don't know if I can do that. I have XYZ to get done. I have all these things I've got to get done. I said, okay, hold on a second. How many clients do you have? I wanted to get the facts now. How many clients do you have? How many trainings are you offering? Like, where is your time really being spent? Because let's not forget, time is a currency, just like money, that we are choosing to spend on something. And we spend it on things that we prioritize and that we value, but also that creates a familiar chaos potentially with what our nervous system knows, right? If your nervous system knows like constant go, go, go and jumping into the day and always being behind and always showing up late, that's what you're going to get because you're going to perpetuate that unless you choose to do something different and rewire that, right? Because the opposite of that is like Fridays off and a nice slow morning and always more than prepared. That actually causes more anxiety for some people who only know anxiety, right? Anxiety that to them makes them feel subconsciously, of course, important, needed somewhere, like they're, doing something, that they're valued, that they're being productive, but really they're just constantly on in a sympathetic dominant fight-flight response in their body. So anyway, I suggest to her, let's take Sundays off. Whew, panic. Oh my gosh, don't know if I can do it. I said, okay, wait. We need to pull up your calendar. Let me see where your time is going. This doesn't make sense to me. I get you and I have coaching calls. That's time spoken for. I know that you have, other things going on. You have clients, fulfillment, you have like free webinars, whatever. And she's like, yep. So she pulls up her calendar and I was like, oh my God. I don't know that I've ever seen a calendar like this. She had everything scheduled. Again, I think great intentions. I want to preface this and not make her wrong about this because she learned it from another program, I think, but she was really trying to be intentional with her time. So I want to actually celebrate that first and foremost because she was being very intentional with her time. She was trying to do all the things, get her workouts in, prioritize eating lunch, getting a nice shower in. So like self-care priorities were at the top. Here's where it didn't work for her nervous system. And it wouldn't work for mine either, because the minute you start to slow down, anything more than that feels like too much. And that doesn't mean you can't still get shit done, just so you know. You can still ride the wave of momentum. You can still get shit done, and you will still feel like you have lots of capacity to expand into because everything is done with intention. And you also have boundaries. You don't have energy leaks anymore, right? This is about energy leaks. So anyway, I look at her calendar and I'm like, holy shit, like this, I could never have a calendar like this because it stressed me out looking at it. She had everything down to her, mealtime to eat, post-workout shower, to 10-minute increments. Imagine if you scheduled out your calendar in 10-minute increments, all laid out. And we went through and we just started deleting stuff because I was like, I want you to be able to look at this and like reevaluate your calendar and spaciousness. And we just did this whole like work session together where what lights you up? What is draining? What is like, okay, it has to get done, doesn't light you up, doesn't drain you. We reevaluated and took the temperature of her calendar. Then we went through and I said, what are you actually doing on here and what are you not doing? She goes, well, I don't really take my shower at that time every day. Delete it. It's just standing space. It's like, if you don't have the space in your calendar, in your capacity to receive more, guess what's going to happen? You won't receive more because the universe is going to say, you don't have room for this in your life, in your day. It's spoken for. It's blocked off. It's labeled. It is taken up, right? Time and space are taken up. You don't have space for this. Why is it going to be gifted to you if you already have that filled? So we got that out of the way. We cleared it out. Then we talked about what she really wanted her day and her week to look like without, of course, foregoing important things like her workouts and her client fulfillment. And then we prioritized, because she's an entrepreneur, the money-making activities. Do you know of all the things on her calendar, when we really took stock, the lowest amount of the lowest cadence and volume of things on her calendar were the money-making activities. Those are the most important when you're an entrepreneur. You need to be prioritizing money-making activities. Of course, second to client fulfillment, in my opinion. But we're like, oh my God, where are the money-making activities? Like, we've got to set aside time for that kind of intention too, because guess what? Your nervous system wants stability and it wants to have, financial income, obviously. So anyway, your calendar is a really accurate reflection, if you put things on your calendar, that is, of how you're spending the currency of time, the one currency that you actually can't get back. You can only spend it once. That's how valuable it is. Once time's gone, it's gone. Now, on the flip side, so many of you need to hear this. You feel like you never have enough time. For what, though? I'm not saying that you aren't busy, but really look at your calendar and let's be honest. Because if you're too busy to potentially invest in a program or the coaching that you, quite honestly, need the most because you're too busy for yourself, there's a problem there. You are the source. You are living out a self-fulfilling prophecy of being literally too busy for your own good. And you are limiting your growth, your capacity, and your ability to expand into whatever could be next, or even to receive whatever good stuff is coming your way, because it's already taken up all that time. You're addicted to busy. This is how I define high achievers versus high performers. The high achiever gets high on achieving. That's an insatiable thirst, my friend. You will never have enough of the thing you don't need, a mentor once told me, and it stuck with me because it's so true. The wound, the part of you that says, I'm not enough, the part of you that pushes the finish line out on yourself, that's constantly striving to be seen as worthy, as valid or valuable, you'll never have enough of the thing you don't need. And so that is a bottomless pit. You can collect all the accolades that you want. My clients have lots of them. They have resumes full of accolades and achievements and big money that they're managing, that they're making. And you know what? Some of the ones that are the most successful are also the emptiest. They're the most unfulfilled. I thought I would be happier. I thought this would feel different. Tom Brady said that when he won a Super Bowl. Man, I thought this would feel different. Tom fucking Brady. That's because happiness doesn't exist in those things. It's a quick dopamine hit. Sure, it feels good. And your nervous system is going through this chasing, hustling, constant anxiety to get to that one dopamine hit, dopamine drive. But then it's short-lived and you're on to the next thing. If you've taken my leadership archetype assessment, you know that this is called the pusher on my archetypes. Constantly pushing the heavy rock up the high hill because there's no time to rest. And you barely celebrate the step you're in because as soon as you've accomplished one thing and achieved that one thing, you're on to the next thing. You never celebrate the step you're in. But it's constant. It's again an insatiable pursuit to get somewhere that actually doesn't exist. It's like invisible happiness. So those of you that say you don't have enough time, that feel like you're constantly out of time, that feel like you're too busy for your own good, you are. You're the one that needs my program more than anybody. But you got to slow down. Take stock of your calendar. Do an audit. See what's lighting you up. Do more of that. See what's draining you. Do less of that. And then look at all the fluff in between. Where are you out of integrity? Where are you out of alignment? Maybe you have a recurring gym reminder on your calendar. 8 o'clock, gym. Swipe up. Ignore the notification. It's there. It shows up. The intention is set, but it never happens. Maybe the intention is tomorrow, but then tomorrow becomes next week and it becomes next month, which becomes next quarter, which becomes next year. And damn, here we are and we didn't get any of those workouts in or barely any of the ones that we intended to because you're too busy for your own good. Don't be too busy for yourself. Don't be too busy for your own good if you want your good. So take that calendar audit. Let me know what comes up for you. Let's keep it first class.
I hope you enjoyed your flight, and I'll see you on board again soon.
Seriously, though, thanks for listening. If you're ready to take this work deeper and upgrade your mind, I want to invite you to join us inside my Millionaire Mindset program. This is where you'll start using my guided meditations to help you overcome anxiety and experience even more abundance. When you join, you'll have access to my entire audio library. Head over to elevatewithkeri.com and we'll see you inside.